Imagine reaching into an old coin jar, pulling out a dime you've seen 1,000 times before, and almost tossing it aside without a second thought. Now imagine discovering that this ordinary-looking coin has a story that stretches across decades of American history and, in some cases, can attract serious attention from collectors. That possibility is exactly why the 1973 Roosevelt Dime continues to spark curiosity among coin enthusiasts today. And before you assume every 1973 dime is valuable, stay with me because one small detail hidden on the coin can completely change how collectors look at it. The Roosevelt Dime had already been part of American life for nearly 3 decades. By 1973, it first appeared in 1946 as a tribute to President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, a leader whose influence was felt throughout the nation during some of its most challenging years. By the early 1970s, America was experiencing a period of change. The country was moving through economic uncertainty, technological advancement, and major cultural shifts. Yet millions of Roosevelt dimes continued passing quietly through cash registers, vending machines, and pockets every single day. What makes 1973 particularly interesting isn't that the coin was designed differently from other Roosevelt dimes. In fact, at first glance, most people would struggle to tell a 1973 dime from many others produced during the era. That's exactly what makes the hunt so fascinating. Sometimes the most overlooked coins become the most carefully examined by collectors. During 1973, Roosevelt dimes were struck at multiple United States mint facilities. The Philadelphia Mint produced coins without a mint mark, while the Denver Mint placed a small D mint mark on its coins. Millions upon millions were made, which means most examples remain common today. But here's where the story starts getting interesting. Even among common coins, unusual production quirks can emerge, and those are often the pieces that collectors spend years searching for. Picture a collector sitting at a kitchen table late at night. In front of them are rolls of dimes collected from local banks. One by one, the coins are examined under a bright lamp. Most are ordinary, most show years of wear. Then suddenly something looks different. Maybe the strike appears unusually sharp. Maybe there is an unexpected minting characteristic. Maybe the coin has survived in remarkably pristine condition for more than 50 years. That moment of discovery is what keeps many collectors searching. One of the biggest factors affecting the value of a 1973 Roosevelt dime is condition. A heavily circulated coin that spent decades changing hands usually carries little premium beyond its face value. However, coins preserved in exceptional condition can become much more desirable. Collectors often compete for examples showing strong details, original luster, and minimal signs of wear. The higher the grade, the fewer examples exist, and scarcity in top condition can create strong collector demand. But condition isn't the only thing collectors watch for. Certain mint errors and unusual production varieties can dramatically increase interest. These are not guaranteed finds, and they are not common. However, throughout American coinage history, small mistakes made during the minting process have created some of the hobby's most fascinating treasures. Collectors carefully inspect lettering, dates, mint marks, and strike quality, looking for anything out of the ordinary. Most searches end with nothing unusual, but every once in a while, a collector uncovers something that tells a unique story about how a coin was made. Here's a surprising fact that many people don't realize. Some of the most exciting discoveries in coin collecting are not made by professional dealers or auction houses. They're made by ordinary people. A retired teacher sorting through inherited coins, a teenager searching through pocket change, a family cleaning out an old dresser drawer. Coin collecting remains one of the few hobbies where valuable discoveries can still happen in everyday places, which is part of its enduring appeal. Now let's talk about market demand. Why would anyone care about a dime from 1973 when millions were produced? The answer comes down to collecting goals. Many collectors attempt to build complete Roosevelt dime sets. To complete those collections, they need coins from specific years and mints. Even common dates become important pieces of a larger puzzle. Others focus only on high-grade examples, searching for the finest surviving specimens. This creates different layers of demand within the collector market. Another factor is historical connection. Coins are small-time capsules. Every 1973 dime was produced during a specific moment in American history. It may have passed through countless hands, traveled across states, purchased everyday items, and quietly witnessed decades of change. For many collectors, That historical journey is just as fascinating as any potential value. Of course, it's important to stay realistic. Most 1973 Roosevelt dimes found in circulation are not rare treasures. The vast majority are common coins. However, exceptional condition, certified high grades, or unusual mint errors can make certain examples far more desirable than ordinary pieces. That's why experienced collectors always recommend careful examination rather than assumptions. The difference between an ordinary coin and a highly sought-after example often comes down to details that are easy to miss. And that brings us back to the question we opened with. Could a 1973 Roosevelt dime sitting in a coin jar be worth closer inspection? Absolutely. Does that mean every coin is valuable? Not at all. But the excitement comes from the possibility of discovering something special hidden among the ordinary. That's the thrill that has fueled coin collecting for generations. The next time you receive change, take a closer look before dropping those coins into a drawer. You might not find a rare variety or a top-grade collectible, but you'll be holding a genuine piece of American history in your hand. And sometimes that alone makes the search worthwhile. If you enjoyed this journey into the story of the 1973 Roosevelt dime, make sure to subscribe to HF Coins World for more fascinating coin discoveries, collector insights, and hidden stories from American pocket change. And before you leave, check your own coins. You never know what history or surprise you might be holding right now.